The handbook contains information related to the rules and policies of being a student here at the college. So, for example, smoking is not allowed in college buildings, so there's a policy on smoking. There's a policy on the use of alcoholic beverages on campus. And behavior, how a student must not interrupt the learning process at the campus. And so different behaviors can come up that could interrupt that need to be addressed and are mentioned in the handbook. The first day handout is like a syllabi here at Macomb Community College. The faculty use it to outline what they're going to have as far as expectations to complete their class. The first day handout generally contains information about the class, what homework assignments are due, what topics will be covered at different class session times, how the instructor will handle absences, missed exams. It's basically the guideline of which the instructor will follow in order to carry out the material to give to the students in their class. What's essential for faculty to know about the handbook is that they can mention it in their first day handout. I know when I talk to some faculty members, they're real concerned about, if I put every student behavior in my first day handout, my first day handout would be 20 pages long. And so what I would suggest is that they reference the handbook. All students get a copy of the student handbook at orientation. They're familiar with it, they've seen it, it's online, and if the instructor references it in their first day handout, then there's no surprises. Students are responsible for the information in the handbook. And I think that could be a great resource for faculty. If a faculty member has a student issue that they feel violates the handbook or something in their first day handout, the best thing that I would recommend that they do is to approach the student and say, in my first day handout, I mentioned that I will not accept late assignments, and really just outline it. They become stronger when they can reference where they're drawing upon their rule from. Let me just give you an example of academic integrity. Academic integrity is a policy in the handbook, and when a student is caught in that situation and the faculty member feels they have the documented proof to show that plagiarism occurred or cheating occurred or anything that involved academic integrity, the faculty member then confronts the student, tells them what is going on, and can reference the handbook and tell them that this is unacceptable and that they would be notifying the associate dean of their area, who in turn will either notify the dean of the area and/or myself, so that further investigation can occur. Even though academic integrity is taken as a serious offense, grades are up to the instructor. But the instructors have the option of failing the student for the entire course, for the assignment, or the exam. What's good about the first day handout, though, is that you hopefully have outlined that and the student knows. If they have any type of plagiarism, you're failing them on the assignment or you're failing them in the class. If you decide to fail them in the class, you have to tell the associate dean and the dean of your area so that a grade can be issued immediately to the student and a note is placed on their record. If at any time a faculty member feels threatened in their classroom, they should not put themselves in harm's way in any way, shape, or form. Generally speaking, what I tell people is if you feel the hair stand up on the back of your neck, something's going on and you need to help yourself. I would suggest at that point in time that they just make contact with campus police and get campus police in there for further assistance. I would also recommend that faculty members consider putting the campus police numbers in their cell phones, because sometimes the classroom phone is not within a reasonable space for them to get to it. They might be on one end of the classroom, unfortunately the phone might be on the other. If their cell phone is with them and programmed with campus police, they would be able to make contact with them quickly. Ideally, you want to use the classroom phones though, because the classroom phones, when you dial 911, it rings right to our campus police and they know right where you are. NORA is a code word that can be used also when you call campus police. If you're in a situation and you don't want to rile the student further, you could pick up a classroom phone and dial 911. When they answer the phone, indicate that you need to speak to NORA immediately. And they will know where your classroom is at and they will send officers right away, which is what NORA stands for, Need Officer Right Away. What I would recommend to instructors to have a safe and successful semester is to really spend some time on the first day handout, to really think about what is important that the students understand about rules that they hold in order to progress through the class. In other words, what are the guidelines that they want students to know about themselves that they just have to have? Essentially, what are their limits? You know, they have to stay within these lines. When the minute they go over the line, this is what's going to happen. So rules with consequences and the willingness to follow through on the rules with consequences is really the best tool that they can use. Consistency is very key in all of this. Students need to know that you're going to be consistent with all of them, that not just because it's this student, you're going to respond differently than this student. As a faculty member, the best resource that I believe you have is with your associate dean. If you have any questions, contact your associate dean and they can walk you through the situation better. The dean of your area, the associate dean of your area are great resources. I'm also available should you have any questions. I would be glad to walk you through a situation or be your sounding board as you're dealing with student issues in your classroom.